Hello and welcome one and all. I'm Mar28 and this is actually a test video. Right now I am recording this using OBS multi-platform and a hardware encoder card that I have had that I've not actually been using. The main reason I've not been using it is that it has a set limit. It can do at most 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames, and if I'm doing 1920 by 1080 I want to do 60 frames. It can however do 1280 by 720 at 60 frames, which is what this test is for. The good news is the files that it makes are much smaller than the video files I've been generating previously, and it has a much smaller actual impact on performance while recording. The only downside is, well, there really is no downside, except for the fact that I would have to make all my videos at 1280 by 720, and I don't particularly want to do that. Most games I would prefer to have at a higher resolution, but for Minecraft, I never really put any of the larger resolution videos out. I actually play at 1600 by 900 and then downscale, so it works okay for me. It's actually what this is right now, though you'll never know. It's 1600 by 900. Works well for me. So this is just a video to test this stuff out, and I figured to take a look at some of the stuff that I have so far and my little custom mod pack that I've been making myself, tentatively called Craft Arcanum. I had originally wanted to use Modpack, but somebody beat me to that. So sad. So let's go ahead and look at some of the tech mods that we got in here so far. That was a stupid thing to do. Alright, so in the way of tech mods and stuff, there are quite a few. We have Ancient Warfare. For the most part, I'm kind of torn about this. I love the idea of Ancient Warfare, the idea of using NPCs and stuff to power like basic farms and stuff. However, and this is a really big however, I'm not sure it fits too terribly well. I might leave it in there just as an option, but I'm not sure if I actually am going to make too much use of it. I will probably have to disable most of like the world gen structures and stuff, so it's only going to be like the player focused things. Let's see, we have Balkan's weapon mod. It's not really tech, but it is new stuff. I love this mod. And since we have this, you can probably guess, we do not have Tinkers. Well, I do not have Tinkers. Blue Power. This is currently being added as a mod for basic logistics and stuff, so moving things around and decoratives. Main reason to have it. I actually really do like the look of the lights and the aesthetics of pneumatic tubes and stuff from this. They're quite nice. It doesn't quite fit with the idea of steampunk that well because these machines run off of, or at least they will run off of, a form of like electricity-like stuff. But I figure, you know what, it's close enough, we'll go with it. Alright. Next on the list we have... this is actually a magic-ish mod, but it's kind of everything. That's one that I've made myself called Craft Arcanum. We'll look at that a little bit later, I guess. Let's see. Deep Resonance. This one's actually really neat. This is a mod that is made by the same person who makes RF tools, and I cannot think of their name to save my life right now, and I'm really sorry about that. But what it is actually a mod that is a multi-block power generating mod that is based around crystals. And it's actually really interesting how it works. See, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So put that there, put the little thing there. And the only thing we need to get this thing to work is a lever. Let's put this over here. This mod is currently in extremely early development, so it's not exactly, did that just kill the chicken or did you just drop the egg? It's not finished. Right now, like we're doing, this entire setup here is only making 30 redstone flux a tick, so that's not a lot of power. And if you notice there's little particle effects on me, that's actually a debuff, so you get like kind of radiation sickness by being near it, so it's pretty neat. And from what I've read and everything that's shaping up, it's going to be fairly balanced. It's just a matter of putting it in now so that the world gen is in place by the time it gets finished. It's the easiest thing to do, and I'd rather not have to do retro gen. So turn that off. It's got pretty good sound effects too, actually. I like that. Again, this is not steampunky, however, it's crystals and stuff, and that'll fit kind of the magic bent, so we'll go with it. Alright. Next up, we have factorization. This is a really obvious one, I think. I'm a big fan of the mod. It's got some really neat stuff to it. It is, at its core, a tech mod. It actually uses a form of electricity called charge. Well, it's kind of close to it. However, you can generate power using steam, and the fact is, most of the tech that is in here is based around stuff using dark iron, which is not quite regular materials. It's got properties that are kind of magical or kind of like a meta material type thing. So it's I think it'll fit. It's also something that I'm figuring as factorization will be like the top tier for like the tech going towards magic-y side of things. At the other top tier, we're going to have pneumatic craft, which is basically a further refinement on steam. You've traded hot, dangerous steam for pneumatic pressure. Alright, so floodlights, which is a really neat decorative little mod there. Let's go ahead and skip that for now. That's pretty much something I should probably cover in like other decorative mods or utility mods. Let's see, forestry. We have forestry mostly for the farms and stuff. Forestry is one of the reasons why I would think that I really wouldn't need Ancient Warfare, though, like I said, though, I think Ancient Warfare would still be neat to have. Forestry gets all the farms, the bees, the trees, all that jazz. I would consider adding Binnie's mods, but I really don't want any of the advanced genetic stuff. I might opt to instead just get magic bees only. Let's see. Growthcraft is not a tech mod. It is a really fun mod, though. We have immersive engineering. This is like the crowning jewel of the aesthetic for the pack that I would like. It is not steampunk. It is, however, very close to something like it. Diesel punkish, kind of like that. It's got big structures. The tech that is there takes up space. It's not something that you're going to cram in a little hole. It's neat. It is big, bulky tech, and I think it'll work really, really well. We also had immersive integration there. Oh, look, little whales. Actually, those are not little whales. Those are really big whales. We also had immersive integration in there, and what that actually is doing is adding access to red alloy wire. Let's get back in here. They don't call it red alloy. What do they call it? Redstone wire coil. That basically just lets you send a redstone signal over the wooden posts from immersive engineering. It also has a item robin thing. I'm not quite sure how that functions, and a multi-block coke oven that makes like I think 5 things at once. This thing's stupidly expensive. I don't think I would use it. Let's see. Lantia Craft. This is definitely a tech mod. It is actually a Stargate mod because I gotta be honest, I love Stargates. When it comes to what it does here, though, it's primarily the main way of long-range transport besides, say, Mystcraft books. And you would wonder, why wouldn't you just use Mystcraft books? Well, I like Stargates. You can power these guys off of, I think it uses Nakoda directly, but you might be able to use RF itself. No, you can use RF. You can use RF to power them, and that actually works quite well. In general, though, it's got a really strong crystal-y kind of thing, so like deep resonance, I think it'll fit. And a lot in the TV series for Stargate, it was portrayed to the quote-unquote less educated as magic, so I think it'll be good. It's kind of borderline like factorization, so it's pretty neat. Let's see, scroll down a little bit. We have pneumatic craft itself, which I said is going to be the pinnacle of the steam side of things. You've moved over to actual pneumatic pressure to control stuff. And luckily now, this doesn't actually use the plastic plants or anything, so it uses oil, which is nice. I've been looking forward to using this. Last time I tried to do it was my Bevo's world, and right about the time I got into it, my world started doing really bad things. It became near unplayable. And no, it wasn't this. It was just the world was in bad shape. See, we have Railcraft. Railcraft is another logistics mod, but in this case, it is for long-range item movement as opposed to like in-base movement that you'd have with blue power. Not to mention, it also gives us some steam generators and passive water generation with like the water siding with the tanks. The steam oven is also really freaking awesome. You know what? Let me test something real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 8 of those, right? There we go. we're going to get something out of another mod. It's going to be coming up right here, which is called Steamcraft 2. This is a mod focused on the, I want to say steampunk, but it's not because it's got other elements to it, but it's the kind of genre, the retro futuristic stuff. And one of the things it has is it's got a combustion boiler and a nuclear fired boiler. I don't know if that works yet. Last I know, they were working on it. Generates, use fuel to heat water into steam. Okay, and then intake. Let's see if the petrified wood cooks up. The only thing I really want to do right here is I want to see if this can actually be used to run a steam oven, because I know it actually makes steam. I don't know if it makes the right kind of steam, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Because I love the steam oven from Minecraft. It's one of my favorite blocks. It works really, really well, but that's not actually ejecting steam, which is unfortunate. I know I could probably get the, there's a copper pipe inside of Steamcraft. That's one of the reasons why I want to have it. It actually has fluid and RF movement in here besides the immersive engineering stuff, which no does not have fluid movement yet, but it will be getting it, which will be pretty neat. I can't wait to see how they do that. I'm looking for a spanner. It's the wrench for this mod. There it is. There we go. That should actively extract the steam from here and put it into the steam oven, right? Yeah, that's nice. Cool. This thing is chewing through wood, however. Looks like there's no recipe to use that to make charcoal. No, there's a recipe there, but not in the steam oven. That's odd. So it has an or dictionary tag, but it doesn't have the you know, whatever works. Let's grab a stack of this stuff. Spruce, will you do? Spruce do. Okay, good. So yeah, it doesn't look like this is the most efficient way to get steam going, but it's definitely a really cheap way to get steam going. Alright. Steamcraft 2 also has a bunch of like modular armor and stuff that they're working on. They're actually in the middle of doing a really big revamp on that, so I'm kind of excited to see what you're able to do. Let's see. So Steamcraft 2, and I believe that is pretty... Oh, no, I lied. There's one more. The last real tech mod to this is Zeta Industries, and what this is primarily access to multi-block power storage. This thing is completely configurable by actual the config files. So instead of having some of the really big power storage that you can have with it, I'll be able to tune it to fit better the general makeup stuff we have here, because like in this pack, I think the biggest power generator I'm going to have is going to be the generator from Immersive Engineering, which makes, I think, 4096 RF a tick. So I don't need that much in the way of storage, but I would like to have like these big, huge battery banks. I think they're pretty neat. Let's go ahead and make one of those real quick. Get the battery wall, power tap. I think we just need one of these. No, you need 2 electrodes. Yeah, okay, so we'll get that. Get that. Need one of those. Don't need that. Graphite, charcoal. This variable redstone emitter, by the way, is really awesome. You can basically set it to emit a signal anywhere between 0 to 15. Very, very handy. It's also really, really cheap to make, too. Let's see. Creative woven backpack, engineers, woven computer backpack. Lightning rocket that actually makes lightning. All right. So let's see if this works. All right. So this uses code they actually get from big reactors. So you can make actually some really freaking large multi-blocks. We don't need to go too terribly big. We just need something that's functional. So I think this is going to be pretty close to the minimal size. So electrode, wall. We need an electrolyte, which in this case is going to be this acid stuff right here. Power tap, block, block, block. Blockity, block, block, block. Oops. Yeah, by default, some of the power transfer stuff you can do in here is rather crazy. It's made for some really insane stuff, but since it is configurable, it's something you can definitely adjust on the fly. Yeah, so check this out. This is a gigantic battery. And this holds 150 million RF. So yeah, that's something I would need to lower down just a wee little bit. It's pretty neat though. You have power in here and power out there. Are there any other tech mods in this bit? No, the only thing we really have left are some of the miscellaneous stuff and the magic. I'll give you a hint, the magic is primarily Thumbcraft and its add-ons. We also have in here Witchery and Botania. I was debating Blood Magic, I don't think I want to include it. I may just for the heck of it, because really Blood Magic does not add any world gen, and in the end it's only options. Anyway, I have rambled on long enough here, definitely enough to get a good test on the actual recording of this. I will see you all next time with another look at some of the mods we have here, perhaps, maybe a little bit better structured. Definitely further tweaking will be needed on the encoder, and until then, have a good day, and, ooh, Ocean Temple. Must go. This is from, I just realized this is down here. This is from Et Futurum. It's a Ganymedes mod. They've gone through and backported a ton of features from Minecraft 1.8 and 1.9 back to Minecraft 1.7.10. So you can get all the Prismarine stuff in here. There's no Guardians, thankfully. But I think you can get the sponges and stuff in here too. Sea lanterns. It's neat stuff. Is exceptionally neat stuff, and I do not have time to go exploring in here. Alright, I'll talk to you later.